desperate for his first 3 points, and this would certainly be an impressive win if they could get something this afternoon.
Are you ready for the comeback? You know we don't want that.
Here's Charles Cook, and County take the lead.
It'll be a tough pace, but yeah, these are the games you want to play in as a player.
He's got the weight of the world on him, and too strong. Are you ready for the comeback? Yeah.
Clark does send it in. Ross County back in this one. The atmosphere, the noise is turned up in the Highlands.
Are you ready for the comeback? You know we don't want that.
Here's Jordan White, finds the corner of the net. It's game on once again.
Are you ready for the comeback?
Well, welcome once again to a sunny Global Energy Stadium here in Dingwall, and after 2 games on the road in Glasgow and Aberdeen, Ross County are back on home soil and looking for that first league win of the season. It's another mouth-watering contest with Heart of Midlothian unbeaten in the league this season in Dingwall, in the Highlands for this game. I'm going to start with some concerning news. We've got a big absentee for this game because Stephen Craigan has not made the trip to the Highlands this afternoon. But there is good news because alongside me we have former Staggy Richie Hart and former Heart of Midlothian player, but I am told his favourite part of Scotland is of course the Highlands. Michael Stewart is here. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Richie, we'll start with you. What have you made of the start to Ross County's season?
It's been a very difficult start for them. I'm sure when they seen the fixture list coming out, it would have been a bit concerning with the start that they've had. But there's been some encouraging signs in the performances so far. Another tough test for them today, but encouraging signs that they're moving in the right direction.
Michael, the chairman's asked me to have a word. You knew this was coming. On the radio last Saturday, you suggested the 2 teams in main threat of relegation, Livingston and Ross County. You're on the spot now. You have to justify yourself.
Well, I'm definitely standing by the Livingston one. That's for certain. I mean, look, I don't think anybody would argue that it's going to be a tough season for Ross County. I hope they do stay up. It's a wonderful part of the country. It's a good club, but I do think it's going to be a tough season. If you look at the last few years, you can see that Ross County have been in and around that playoff spot, and it's going to be difficult to try to avoid it because I do think the league is very strong. A lot of the top teams are back, and they're all in good shape. A lot of the teams are what you would regard to as doing as well as they would expect, if not better. There's nobody that's really massively going to underachieve, I don't think. So it's a tough ask for Ross County, and to do that, they're going to have to make sure that they don't end up with one of the worst defensive records in the league as they have done previously, and they make sure they can score some goals. And I think that's it sounds obvious, don't concede and score at the other end, but it's the key to success. And I think for Malky Mackay, that's what he's going to have to try to do, is shut the back door, middle to front. I don't think Ross County are going to have too much of a problem, because I'm looking at the side and I think there is enough there. Question mark for me is, can they keep the back door closed?
Rich, are we starting to see the changes, the ideas, all that work on the training ground coming to fruition now, with performances seem to be going a level up game on game, but results need to come with it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you look at the Aberdeen game, very unfortunate not to come away with 3 points there. A sucker punch at the end, and then they go down to Celtic Park, perform really well for a large part of the game, frustrate Celtic, lose a very unfortunate goal, have an opportunity then to maybe snatch an equaliser, and then Celtic go up the park and make it 2-0. So there's definitely encouraging signs there, and I think it's just a case of trusting the process for them at the moment. They're in this transitional period. There are a lot of new players coming in, new manager. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the signs are there that they're moving in the right direction.
I was just going to say, Rory, I mean, to agree with what Richie's saying there, that I think you can recognise that there's been an improvement in performances, but it does have to come a stage where some of those results come, because Richie will tell you, when you're sitting in a changing room and performances are improving but the results aren't there, there's still a despondency. So for Malky, it's going to be very important that they start to pick up a few points, and if they do that, then you can propel yourself up the table pretty quickly, because you know, as we can see, there's 5 teams in the division that haven't won a game yet. Today's going to be a tough one.
Well, as you say, gentlemen, still winless, but here's the best of the action from those games at Pittodrie and Celtic Park.
Shown in the past, County, that they can compete with the teams that are better than them in the league. Longstaff assessing things. There's Samuels, and either side of Laidlaw would have given the Aberdeen fans cause to cheer. Callahan for County. Here's Randall now. That's a great cutback. And Brown's sliding tackle sends it out for a corner. Payton. Bittle's delivery. White's in there. Might come for Payton. Saved by Lewis. There's Charles Cook. And County take the lead. What a turn up here at Pittodrie. And what a moment for Reagan Charles Cook. His first league goal for the club. He's looking in behind for Samuels, who loops it across and almost into the top corner. Without doubt, Aberdeen's brightest spark so far at Pittodrie. County's final third on the left-hand side with Samuels. Good ball in, and gratefully, Ross Laidlaw pounces on the loose ball. Charles Cook, intelligent flick. Here comes Callahan for County, round the goalkeeper, and off the line. County again so close to a second goal. He plays Ferguson, he shoots, and it just won't sit for Ramirez, and Brown goes in. Wide. What a frantic few minutes at Pittodrie. Here go Aberdeen, looking for the equaliser. Hayes, spilled by Laidlaw, and it's the equaliser. And they finally found a way through. So it looks like County won't pick up their first win of the season. Indeed, 1-1 at Pittodrie.
And it's two clubs that have both had major rebuilding jobs over the summer. Malky Mackay returning to Celtic Park. It's nicely done by Rogic to Abada. And the first real chance of the game. And Liel Abada is denied. That one's into the side netting from David Turnbull. White took a bit of a tumble in the middle of the pitch. He's now back involved in supporting this attack. It's Spittle in. Oh, and they had 3 in there. Callahan just needed a touch. What an opportunity for Ross County. Jota, Rogic now. It will come to Abada again. He's really missed that opportunity this time. Vickers, that one's deflected and in. And just when Ross County needed luck on their side, it's a massive slice of fortune that goes the way of Celtic. Payton, Charles Cook. Payton gets it back. Samuel and Spittle in the middle, and it's Samuel. What a chance for Dominic Samuel. It comes back to him. He's denied by the save by Joe Hart.
He's got to score. He really has to score.
That delivery is now turned in, and Albion Ayeti has Celtic second. Is McCarthy, and it will be a tap-in for Albion Ayeti's second and Celtic's third.
Yeah, you have to say, it's probably a flattering scoreline for Celtic.
Jota takes a bit of a knock to the face, and that's the final act of the game, which ends in a 3-0 defeat for Ross County. Well, 2 games, 1 point from 2 very difficult venues. Richie, what are the positives that Malky Mackay and his coaching staff will take from those 2 games?
Well, I think going by the Celtic game, who have been, scoring for fun at home recently. So to go there and keep until I think it was about 64 minutes.
Yeah, because their previous 2 games were both 6-0.
Yeah. So to go there, and I think they would have been thinking, yeah, we're quite comfortable here at the moment. then they lose the bad goal, which would have, you know, taken a bit of the air out of the lungs for the guys, because they would have spent most of that game out of possession and chasing the ball. But I think that tells you that the shape and how Malky wanted them to apply themselves to the game was working to a point. But not only that, they created some decent opportunities to score as well. And on another day, they might, if they convert the chance right after that goal, get back into it, it might have given them something else to hang on to. And unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But yeah, I mean, you know, they not only defended well, but they created opportunities as well.
Michael, I think in normal circumstances, a point from Pittodrie and Celtic Park would probably be seen as a fair return. Mm-hmm. Were there points left out there, though?
No, I think you've hit the nail on the head, to be perfectly honest. That, you know, you're taking a point for going to Pittodrie and Celtic Park, then I don't think you can grumble too much. But when you look at the two games, there will be a bit of disappointment, because, you know, to be 1-0 up with a couple of minutes to go at Pittodrie and not to take the 3 points, of course you're going to be disappointed. It ends up feeling like a bit of a defeat. And, you know, as Richie's saying with the game at Celtic Park, for a lot of the game there, to feel like you're in the hunt and then to go 1-0 down with a huge deflection, you're going to have those moments to go your way. If you think back to the League Cup victory last season, it's a game plan that needs all the moments to go your way. If Celtic have a chance, they need to miss it for you. When you get your chance, you have to take it and capitalise. So it has to all fall into place perfectly. And unfortunately for Malky and the Ross County team, it didn't quite happen for them. But there are positives to build upon. You know, there's no doubt that the defensive structure is starting to take shape, which I do think is going to be key this season for Ross County. So disappointing not to take more, but in the long run, I think when you look at the run of games that County have had to start the season, to be sitting where they are, it's not the world's worst, and they have to then build upon the performances to look to really start taking the points in the next run of games, where games that realistically they can do that.
How did Calvin Ramsey keep that one out?
I don't know. I do not know. We're talking about that obviously off camera there. Incredible, yeah.
Well, looking on to this afternoon's game, and I caught up with manager Malky Mackay earlier. Malky, it's been a while since you've had a game here, and after a couple of tricky fixtures on the road, good to be back?
Yeah, very much so. Great to be back here, Rory. You see the stadium, the pitch here today is immaculate, and good to be back in home in front of our own fans. Hearts will obviously bring a good support as well, so I'm sure there's going to be a good atmosphere.
Can you give us an indication on your team news for this afternoon?
Yeah, we've got a fully fit squad at the moment. We had a couple with the cold and flu during the week, but they've all come in to report this morning, so yeah, we'll see how it goes today. We've obviously got Jake Vulcan still out as a longer term one, and Conor Randall is obviously still just struggling with his ankle. He's going to be another 2 or 3 weeks away, but other than that, it's the same group that were here last week.
With the number of new players, I can imagine partnerships are beginning to form quite nicely now.
Yeah. I mean, it was great to see how Jack Baldwin come into the team and settle in so well, especially at Parkhead. They were, coming and playing against a top team like that, and I think Clark and Baldwin, really played well together. So, as I say, it's something to build upon. The 2 youngsters that played fullback as well, I'm really delighted about them, both in terms of their ability in the ball and their athleticism.
How happy are you with the improvement that you're seeing from Regan Charles Cook? He's becoming a key player, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he did so well against the Croatian right back, the new Croatian right back Celtic have got, and on another day, we could have capitalised on that. But I think it's a belief. I spoke to Regan about that in terms of what I think is still inside him. He's still got 30% still to come when I see what he can do at training, and I see the difference in terms of his fitness, in terms of his application. It's terrific.
I think as we can see the style and the ideas that you're trying to implement, the longer that goes on, the idea that the results come with it, does that start to become the priority now?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew we've got a very tough run of fixtures at the very start, with Hearts today, but we're going toe to toe and we're creating chances, and that's the thing. I think we caught Celtic on the counter 8 or 9 times. We've got to be clinical, and that's without doubt, but we're creating chances, and we've got to make sure that we actually take that belief in every game going forward. As I say, we've played some top teams at the moment, and we've got another one coming today, so it's going to be a tough one for us today. A good club I know really well, and I know the management, and I know a variety of other players, so I know it's going to be a tough one for us.
Yeah, it's another unbeaten side. It
Yeah,
seems to
great,
keep on
fabulous.
happening. What do you expect? What sort of a style do you expect from Robbie's side?
Well, they've got a very distinct style. They've managed to work themselves into a very distinct style. But watching the Hibs game last week was really interesting because both teams changing their formations as the game went on to try and find that winner. And it became a very open game near the end, and both goalkeepers had good saves to make. But no, it's an experienced lineup, and Robbie's brought some good players into the building. It's a big club, and as I say, it's a club I know well. They trained where when I was with Scottish FA, my office was on their training site, so I know them well. But it's a challenge for us today. It's an unbeaten team and a team that are coming with confidence. So we've got to make sure that that's difficult for them today. As I say, it's a lovely pitch out there today, and we've got to be in their faces.
Good luck, Marky.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Malky looking forward to the game, as are we here at the Global Energy Stadium. It's a big one, and let's get the all-important team news for you this afternoon, because there are significant changes, 3 of them in total in the Ross County side. There's a debut for Ash Maynard Brewer in goals, in for Ross Laidlaw, the loanee from Charlton. It's a debut for the new goalkeeper. Also out goes Harry Clark. He doesn't play, so Alex Iacovitti comes in to the back. And also Alex Samuel is out, replaced by Harry Payton in an attacking midfield role for the Canadian. He joins his brother Ben in the starting lineup. So Richie, what do you make of the team that's been selected for today?
Yeah, a couple of changes in there for Ross County, and one of them certainly forced anyway, which is obviously difficult as a manager, especially if you're looking to continue the good work that's been done so far. We talked about getting that pairings right, which is so important, especially with the new players coming in. But it gives the guys that's coming in a chance now to perform today and hopefully take their chance.
They're beginning to develop familiarity around the pitch. You like that sort of 4-1-4-1 setup?
Well, I said earlier on, when I'm looking at County side, middle to front, I'm thinking and looking at that and saying, looks enough to me. I do think, again, we were talking earlier on off camera about Charles Cook and how, he looks like a rejuvenated player this season. Blair Spittle's always somebody that I think has got great technical ability, always wanting a wee bit more from him, but I do think he's somebody that, when you look at Ross County side, you think he can be a danger man for them. And Jordan White at the top end of the park, if you give him the delivery, he will be dangerous and cause trouble. And in the midfield as well, there's more than enough there. Tilson's a player that I like. I think he goes about his business very well. Payton as well, he's coming back into the side there. But there is more than enough in that middle of the front when I watch the side. But you see Maynard Brewer's coming in goals. Not overly surprised. There's been a change made there. There has been a few mistakes made. It's a sore one for Laidlaw, there's no doubt about it. But I think it's a big call, one that I was not overly surprised with, but a huge opportunity for him, because they're coming up against a side that are full of confidence and are dangerous now in that forward area, something that's not always been the case with Hearts of late. But I do think you can safely say that he will be getting tested here today.
You both mentioned Regan Charles Cook. He almost seems like a new signing this season, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, and he started the season very well, which is pleasing. And he was away on international duty, and I think it seems that he's come back with a real confidence boost from that. And I think, to me, he looks like one of them players that, if his confidence is there, you'll get the best out of him. But it's just trying to maintain that. But he's getting a run in the team at the minute. He's scored. He's creating opportunities. So, like you say, yeah, it's almost like a new signing for them. So, hopefully, he can continue that good form again today.
Rory, when you look at players and Richie's talking about the type of player that can be inconsistent, you expect that at times. You don't expect it. You hope it doesn't happen, but it does happen very often with creative winger types, that they can hit a bit of form and they can go off the boil fairly easily. The important thing for Malcolm Mackay and Ross County is that Regan Charles Cook maintains that form, because he is somebody that you can see in all these clips here. That's a wonderful ball, standing that up at the back post there. He's somebody that can create, and he can score as well. That finish at Pittodrie was a very composed finish. So he's on a good run of form. It does feel like a new signing for County. He has to try and maintain those levels if they're going to pose a threat, not just here today, but in general across the course of the season. Very much in the same vein as what I was talking about there with Blair Spittle. He's got the technical ability. Come and bring that consistency to the game now.
He's somebody as well that he attracts the defensive minds of opposition. It means you've got a real threat. Manager says there's 30% more to come from him, so there could be a really good player in there. That's the challenge, to push him on. But let's look at the defensive aspects of the team, because although they've conceded 11 goals, we know that the fixtures have not been kind at all. There seems a bit more defensive stability in there. Obviously that's been slightly broken up, the partnership of late of Baldwin and Clark, but Iakoviti comes in, he's well known to the team.
Yeah, I mean, it was their downfall last season. Ross County was defending, conceded a lot of goals, and you can see the improvements. There's still some work to be done. I think certainly balls coming across the box there, balls coming into the box. I still think there's areas that they need to improve on there. But there's no doubt that the shape of the team, I think a lot of times last season, the back four seemed to get awful exposed. The games that have played so far, there's more compact area in front of the defence. So yeah, I mean the shapes looked good, and like I said earlier, I think it's just about trusting that process. Malky knows what he wants to do, knows how he wants the team to play. And hopefully they can go out and execute that.
When you see a lot of those clips there as well, to me the thing that stands out is there's a desire to try and stop goals going in the back of the net. They're trying to block shots, they're getting themselves in the way. Now some of that can be because they've been opened up, but that's good teams are playing against. The one major point and the one major cause of concern is what Richie pointed out there, that balls getting put into the box a little bit too easy. Try and stop the crosses. They've defended it pretty well when it's coming in the box, to be fair, but try and stop it at source, stop the balls coming in, and then that can alleviate a bit of pressure. And also, when you're doing stuff like that, it means you can actually turn the ball over a bit quicker. When balls get flung into the box, it becomes very difficult to then get the ball down and start an attack. Whereas if you can win the ball higher up the park, in those wide areas, you can then start to counter and open teams up a little bit quicker on that counter attack.
Good stuff, guys. That's County covered. We will start to discuss the opposition, Heart of Midlothian, after a quick break. Make 2021-22 a season to remember and be an official player sponsor for your favourite county star. Whether you're a fan of Jordan White, Ben Payton or Harry Clark, we have opportunities throughout the squad waiting for you. Receive your sponsored items signed, spend time with your sponsored player at an exclusive meet and greet event, and have your name on the player's profile at our club website. For more information, head to www.rosscountyfootballclub.co.uk or email info@rosscountyfootballclub.co.uk today. Arrive here unbeaten. They're in very, very good form indeed off the back of what was actually a thrilling 0-0 Edinburgh derby. He makes 3 changes to his side this afternoon coming up to the Highlands. You can see the team now with Taylor Moore coming in, Barry Mackay also making a first start for the club, and Armand Nondouye will, we think, be the centre forward, but we spent an awful long time, boys, trying to work out what the shape of this side would be.
Yeah, well, I was enjoying your pronunciation there, Rory, because that was pretty spot on with Nondouye, wasn't it? Yeah, look, you've got 4-3-3, 4-1-4-1 up on the screen, but it could very easily be something different. Hearts have played predominantly with this back three this season. The system that St Johnstone played last year with back three, 2 wing backs, 2 sitting midfielders and 2 number 10s in behind the main striker. Looking to try and fit that team into that system wasn't easy. No. So not 100% sure if they're going to be able to stick with that system. And and they could well be matching up with County's way of playing here today. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly once the game pans out. But, the one thing is certain, and I think I touched on it just before there, is that this is a Hearts side that does have a threat in the final third now. Not something that I think you could say of them in the last few years. Been very patchy, but when you look at that team that's there, there's a lot of attacking threat. Mackay Stephen, Nondelay, Liam Boyce, obviously familiar to this area, and Ben Woodburn as well. You know, there is a lack of defensive, midfield players other than Ben Ingame in there. It's a difficult one to shape up, but you do know that they're going to cause Ross County some problems.
Hearts over the last few years have had a huge turnover of player. They've had some indifferent transfer windows. Robbie Nielsen looks to have nailed this one though, doesn't he?
Yeah, they've recruited very well. They've got some really good players in there, and I think with looking at the players that they've selected today, I mean the intent is very clear from Hearts today. That they're coming up here and they're wanting the 3 points with the team that they've picked there. I'm not surprised to see Barry Mackay come in today. They've got Gary Mackay Stephen up there as well. Boyce, who's a great link between that, so that'll be critical for County today to stop that supply into him, because he's great with the ball into his feet in and around the box. He can be quite tricky.
He's very good at that, isn't he?
Very good at it. I liked him when he was here at Ross County, but I think he's actually gone to another level now.
Mm-hmm.
That bad injury, and now he's back. He looks lean, he looks fit, and he's very good at bringing other players into play.
Yeah, I was just going to say there that you can see that's a wonderful strike. Not sure that I think it's Jack Anna can go there. He could have done a wee bit better, but it's a great strike. And talking to Stephen Naismith about Liam Boyce, and he just waxing lyrical about his link-up play as Richie was talking about there, and he's a wonderful striker of the ball, a great goal scorer, and just to get one back on the chairman. I remember I put Liam Boyce in a team of the season ahead of Moussa Dembele because he was the league's top goal scorer, and there was a lot of people chucking some criticism about. Mr. Sutton was one of them, but he was the league top goal scorer.
When is he not?
The league's top goal scorer. I thought he deserves to be in the team of the year. So he's he is a very good player, and I think he's now, as Richie said, maybe not gone to a new level, but he's certainly, for Hearts, he's shown what he is capable of, which is what he was doing here at Ross County for a long time as well.
My previous question I would have thrown your way, but we wouldn't have made the post-match interviews, let alone kick-off. Another player, unbelievably still going, Craig Gordon.
Well, I mean, if you were to say that about a 38-year-old goalkeeper, you would say, well, it's not unbelievable for a goalkeeper, but because of his career path, and because he missed such a huge chunk and effectively was finished, he was retired. I remember being at a funeral in Edinburgh with the old club doctor, and Craig had stopped. He was just said, my knee's knackered, I can't play. And then, within a short period of time, I mean, you look at the saves that he's making here, there is no suggestion that his game is dropping at all. He's in as good a shape as I can ever remember. He's making saves and springing about the goal, high, low, all sorts. He's always been an incredible shot stopper. And he is such a big presence for Hearts, and a huge influence on the rest of the players as well. And it's great to see, because he's a really good guy, a great football player, and the adversity that he's been through, it's wonderful to see him playing at that level.
We've had this incredible spell with Scotland for 15 years, where you've had Alan McGregor, David Marshall and Craig Gordon, and at various points throughout they've been in the position number one. Craig's got the jersey back.
It is, and Michael's right, it's great to see him back in that number one spot, and he looks better than ever. He looks in great condition, and the saves he makes are great. Last week, the Derby game, he had several wonderful saves, and he's just a great professional, and it's great to see him back, and he looks like he could go on playing for another couple of years easy.
Great stuff, gentlemen. We're looking forward to the game. We're just 5 minutes away from kick-off. Ross County against Heart of Midlothian in the Cinch Premiership.
Oil and gas, power generation, and heavy industry all rely on the safe and continuous operation of their high-voltage networks. The demand on these industries is continuously increasing, and the need for an electrical supply without interruption is critical. Contact us today to find out how we can provide 24/7 PD monitoring solutions for you.
When I hold the card, I'm standing with my family.
When I hold the card, I'm standing with my teammates.
When I hold the card, I'm standing with my neighbours.
When I hold the card, I stand with my brothers and sisters.
We're standing with everyone who's had to endure racial prejudice in their lives.
Racism comes in many forms, some clear, some more subtle.
It affects not just the victim, but friends, families, and entire communities.
No one is born with it, and tolerance is taught, but it can be untaught.
To bring about change, we can't be afraid to take the first step. We fail when we fail to try.
We are supporting Show Racism the Red Card, our education charity.
Now more than ever, they need your support to give our future generation the tools to challenge prejudice, hatred and discrimination.
It's not enough to be not racist, we all must be anti-racist. Education is the key.
Founded in 2006, with headquarters in the UK and locations around the world, we have developed cutting-edge PD monitoring and testing technology to ensure your high-voltage networks are safe and reliable, avoiding dangerous and costly unplanned outages. Contact us today to find out how we can provide 24/7 PD monitoring solutions for you.
As a family-owned business, Norscot understand the need for stability, security and comfort. That's why every timber frame kit we supply is built with these in mind. Providing great design flexibility, our homes are entirely customizable to your needs, and with a wide range of adaptable set and bespoke designs on offer, your budget is not a limitation. To find out more, email info@norscot.co.uk. Norscot, proudly serving customers throughout the UK since...
It's time to come home. After over a year, we look forward to having you back here with us as we embark on the latest chapter in the club's journey. You can get behind the Staggies and order your season ticket today online at rosscountyfootballclub.co.uk. Make 2021-22 a season to remember and be an official player sponsor for your favourite county star. Whether you're a fan of Jordan White, Ben Payton or Harry Clark, we have opportunities throughout the squad waiting for you. Receive your sponsored items signed, spend time with your sponsored player at an exclusive meet and greet event, and have your name on the player's profile at our club website. For more information, head to www.rosscountyfootballclub.co.uk or email info@rosscountyfootballclub.co.uk today.